Hi, welcome to Crafty Little Things, and I'm just going to do a couple of Halloween projects today. I'm just going to start off with a pumpkin themed bag. So what you need for this is a piece of 6x12 cardstock. I'll put the centimetres up there somewhere, up there, whoops, can't find my hands. So a piece of 6x12 cardstock. These are just such simple, sort of suggestive of Halloween kind of themed things. So what you need is score at 1.5 on the long side, and then to score at 5.5, and then at 7, and at 11. Okay, and then on the short side you need to score at 4.5. Okay, so that's going to be our bag. What I've also done for the top of the bag is I've made one of these little handles, which was made from a die that I've got, but you could do your handle differently. You could make your paper 1 inch longer or 1.5 inches longer and then cut a slot in it. There's lots of different ways you could do it. You could just fasten it off with a clip or a paper clip. You could wrap some ribbon through it, whatever you wanted to do. I've just chosen to use this. Now I'm also going to be making a bat box. So for my bat box I'm going to be needing 3 pieces of cardstock. For the lid I need a piece that measures 5x5, and I'm just going to move it slightly away from the edge, and I'm going to score it at 1 inch all the way round. Again, I'll put the centimetres up at the top. I'm making these up as I go along. I have seen similar on various Pinterest, whatever. Oh dear. But I'm not copying anyone's exact design. I'm kind of making it up as I go along. Then you need 2 pieces that measure 6.5 by 5. Now these are for your box, which is going to measure 3 by 3 by 3 by 3, or 3 by 3 by 3. So what you need to do with this is you need to score at 3 on the longer side and at 6. Okay, and then turn it around and score at 3 on the short side, and do exactly the same with the other one. So score at 3 and at 6, and then turn it around and score at 3. Okay, that is for the Dracula or the vampire box or the bat box. And then for the monster box, this is going to be 4x4x4 box. You need 2 pieces of green cardstock which measure 8.25 by 6.5, and you need 1 piece that measures 6x6. Your 6x6 is your lid, so again move it slightly away from the edge and score it at 1 inch all the way around. And obviously these are meant to hold treats. And they're meant to be as a set. I'm kind of making them as a set. So with your green pieces then, what you want to do is at your longer side, you want to score at 4 and at 8. Okay, so 4 and 8. And on your shorter side, you want to score at 4. Okay, at 4. And that's for your monster box. I was going to do a witch one as well, but I thought I'll leave it at that. Oh, just before I finish that off, I've made some little wings. What these are is 2.5 by 2 rectangles, and then all I've done is I've just cut out that kind of wing shape and made it finish like 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to score up at 5/8 so that I can attach those to my box, and I just made one and then I used that as a template for the second one. Okay, and just score up at 5/8, so I can attach that to the box, and that's it for the scoring. Now, right, I'm going to start with the bag, the pumpkin bag. So this is just suggestive of the pumpkin. It's not going to look anything like a pumpkin, but it will be sort of suggestive, and especially once it's with the others, it will look more obvious what it's meant to be. So just burnish all those score lines. You could make this one out of paper rather than cardstock, but I just wanted it to be plain. I quite like plain things sometimes. One of my most popular makes ever was a little set of boxes that were just black with different coloured lids. And, you know, very simple, basic, plain design. So with this piece here, the thinner piece at the end, you just want to cut away this bottom rectangle and then notch them in quite handsomely. So you've got lots of so you're not going to have loads of bulk, and then cut up your score lines to your first horizontal on your scored side. Now the front of your box is going to be this piece here, so I never notch in the front because that keeps it nice and square, but I do notch in the sides just to get rid of some bulk. Okay, I don't cut down the sides necessarily unless there's a specific reason for doing so, but you can cut them down if you want to. And for the same reason, I won't cut in the back, notch in the back, because I think that just helps you to keep everything nice and square. And this is a gift bag box. It's going to be quite a sturdy old box, this is, and it'll notch in. And then I've got my little, not notch in, it'll fold in. I've got my little handle here that's going to be attached to the top, and that'll have my sentiment. I'm going to do all my sentiments kind of at the end. I'm going to get the main thing ready, and then I'm going to do my decoration, if you like. So, sorry, that'll go on the top there. So it acts as a kind of seal as well, unless you wanted to just attach it to one side where it doesn't. So yeah, so that's that. So all I'm going to do there is pop some glue on here, but before I do that, I'm going to put my face on. I am going to put my faces on, I'm just not going to put my sentiments on. So for my pumpkin one, I decided to keep it really simple, and I've just put in big eyes, which I'm going to put in sort of a crazy offset fashion. You could cross them if you wanted. And then I've just jaggedly cut a mouth. I've not done anything other than that. And then I'll put this on, but then I'll curl some green ribbon to act as like the foliage on the top of the pumpkin. But that's all I'm going to do. And then obviously I'm going to add a sentiment somehow to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these on now, because obviously it's easy to do it now. If you wanted to add some dimension, you could always use dimensionals to assemble the eyes. In fact, I think I'm going to do that because I think it'd make them look even more wacky if they were kind of, I don't know, I think I'm going to do one like that, and then I'll glue these on, and then do one like that, just so that they're facing in totally different directions. So warm today in here. I think my heating's on full. Got a massive radiator in this room and I often forget that. Because I do, it's quite a big house and there's only me in it most of the day, so it seems crazy for me to have the heating on everywhere. So I'll go around, switch all the radiators off, and I forget to switch this one off. Yeah, I like that. And then for the mouth, I just did this jagged cutout. In fact, it was half a circle, and I just cut out some shapes there to get that sort of pumpkin mouth effect. I'm sure anybody who saw this would automatically assume Halloween pumpkin. I know I would. So once you've got that little bit done, you can whack your glue onto the flap, and then you can just join your box bag. And then I put my two end flaps in, back flap down, and then front flap down, and that keeps it all nice and clear as to where everything goes. I'll just put a bit of glue on these just to stop them flapping about inside the box, and then I'd completely cover the front flap. Okay, so they'll go down like so. And then that'll come across like that, and then we'll just get a bone folder, press it all down, give the side a good press in, use your point to get right into those corners, keep them nice and square. And it's just the simplest gift bag ever, but how cute is it? Made a bit of a mistake really putting my join. I don't know how I managed to do that. Join should have been at the back, but never mind. I'm not that bothered about it. And don't worry if you get it a little bit grubby or a little bit mucky. It's not going to bother because it's a Halloween bag. Who cares? Okay, and then the lid, the little handle can either be glued on, it can be stapled on, you can do whatever you want to get it on there. Okay, I'm just going to glue mine on, and then whoever receives it can just tear it open at the top. Okay. In fact, I'm just going to cut across the top to start with. If you were selling something that you wanted to show hadn't been opened, these handles are really good for that, because obviously they show they obviously create a seal. So they're good for if you're selling sweets or something and you want to just show that they've not been manhandled, or if you're making biscuits or something like that for a stand, a craft stand, so people just know they've been packaged carefully and nobody's been dipping the fingers in them. And then just stick that one on the back. Okay. Just give that a press down. Give that a press down. And I mean that's what it takes. That's your little Halloween bag. But we're going to put a sentiment on there, and we're going to put some ribbon on there as well. Okay. So that's that one. Now we're going to do our We'll come back and do the ribbon for that, don't worry about that. Now we're going to do our back box. So the back box is all black. And this is our lid, so we'll just start off with that. Just fold and burnish the 4 corners. Now, one of our corners is going to come over the eyes, like the eyebrow, but we'll do that in a minute. What I want to do first is just make the box. So just cut up your 2 score lines, doesn't matter which side on, and then just notch in. Now you will want to remember which side doesn't have the flaps, because that's the one where you're going to make, oops, just made a mistake there. That's the one where you're going to make your little shape in for the eyes. Okay, just have to pretend I didn't do that. So we just put a bit of glue on each tab. And form our corners, keep that nice and square. So let's burnish these score lines. Oh dear, I did tell you the measurements, didn't I? I was thinking I never told you the measurements and where to score, but I did. I mean, this is really not rocket science. So you need to cut out the skinny small rectangle on each piece and notch in what you've got left of that end piece. So cut out the skinny rectangle on each piece, notch in what you've got left, and then cut up the score line, and cut up the score line. So this is going to create your box, okay? So your front of your box, decide where your front of your box is going to be. I think I'm going to have my front of my box here. So this piece isn't going to get notched in, but the other 2 are, just to lessen the bulk on the edges, just because you smooth the corner. So this one and this one are going to get notched in. Might notch in the back one a little bit as well. Okay, and they're going to be glued together like that. So I'm just going to put the glue on there and stick that together straight away. Push that down, and now this is going to be our bat's face. So what I've done for the bat is I've done 2 circles, okay, and I've done more cat-like eye features. And all I did was I used a 1/2 inch circle punch, and then I just popped the circle back in and just trimmed off a little bit. So again, I'm going to use dimensionals just to have these pop off a little bit. So this one's the bat. Maybe we can make him look a little bit more sinister if we slant his eyes down, I don't know. Ooh, looks a bit like an owl, doesn't it? And then for the mouth, I've just got a downturned black piece, with a couple of fangs. Sorry, that's not it. This is my downturned black piece with a couple of fangs. So I've got like a I've done that right, yeah. So I've got like a menacing kind of mouthpiece. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand this off. So I'm going to just use some dimensionals for this. And just have this standing off a little bit. And then I'm going to pop the glue on the fangs. So, right. Okay. Oh, I didn't realise I hadn't stuck those on. I'm going to stick these on. Oh, that's quite a menacing bat eye, isn't it? Okay. Now this is where I said about the box coming down, because the lid's going to come down over those eyes. So we're going to use the punch just to punch out the spaces, but we need to know exactly where they're going to be first. Okay, so that's quite some step. Then we need to get our wings. So we need to burnish these sections, and one's going to sit on there and one's going to sit on there, okay, either side, so that when the box is made they stand out. So pop some glue on there. I'm just going to pop it, I'm going to put them down because I don't want them to clash with the lid, and I'm going to set them in about 1/8 of an inch from the crease there. Okay. Oops. So I'm going to put them down near the bottom. I'm about 1/8 of an inch from the bottom of the box and 1/8 of an inch in from the crease. And just press those down so that when the box is made, they'll stand out. And now I haven't put the eyes perfectly separate, so I will mark them on the box. So now what I need to do is just pop some, whoops, got a spider. What I need to do is, it's not a very good day today, pop some glue on the crease there, fold that over, on the join there, press that down, and then this is the front, obviously with the face. I'm going to put the 2 side flaps in first, just put a little bit of glue on that one there, just so that it holds there, pop some glue all over that one, so it holds there, and then pop some glue all over this back one, so it really holds everything in place there. Okay, get your box nice and square. Pop the lid on your Tombow and use your Tombow to just press this one down because it's a little bit of a bigger surface. Go back in with the point of your bone folder, just get those edges nice and square. And there you can see your little bat wings coming out. But the lid now will fit on the top, but it's going to cover up the eyes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark, doesn't matter what width, I'm just going to sort of mark the middle of the eye there. And there. And then I can get my punch. and I can just crop out that centre point. So my box, then I get that sort of bat shape, you know, that sort of centre point there. Now you can point that off if you want, or you can just leave it like that. I'm just going to leave mine like that. I think it looks quite cute, and my bat wings look quite cute. I think the whole thing just looks quite cute. So then what I'm going to do, obviously with that, then I'm going to pop a bit of ribbon on it, and I'm going to put a sentiment on that. So I'll show you what I do with that in a moment. So that's our Halloween bag and box. Look at those, they're so cute, and so easy to do. And now I'm going to just do the final one, which is our monster box. I've got lots and lots of bits and bobs down here that I don't even know if they belong to the monster box or not. Let me just, yeah, I think one of those bits definitely does. I don't want to, that's definitely part of the monster box. And that's all rubbish. It's not going to go in the recycling. Right, so for the monster box then, we're more or less the same as the bat box. Just fold up your corners, burnish your score lines on your lid. This is a slightly bigger box. You can use any of these sizes or any of these designs for any of these pieces. So you could have the pumpkin box and a monster bag. And I'm going to notch in exactly the same as we did for the last one. But I'm not going to make the mistake of notching the box in this time. This time, once we've decided what's the front of our lid, well, not just the front, all of it, we create the monster's hair. So what we want to do here is we want to glue this together and let it dry while we're making the box, because we need it to be dry to do the next step. So fold that over, fold them over, and just make your box lid exactly the same as we did with the other box. Okay. And there's our lid made. Let that all dry. So just press in those joins with your bone folder. This is probably the most important time for your box to be really well glued together. And now what we'll do is we'll fold and burnish all the score lines on our remaining pieces, which are of the box itself. This is a 4x4x4 cube, so a nice big box. Okay, and now as before, the skinny rectangle comes out, and you can notch in the remaining rectangle and cut up your score line. Cut away the skinny rectangle, notch in the remaining rectangle, and cut up your score line. Now, once you decide which is the front of this box, I think I'm going to go with this one here. Then we'll leave that full and we notch in the others, just to reduce our bulk again. just get, I think you just get neater corners if you've got less bulk in the corners. Okay. And then we're going to do our monster's face. And again, it's not going to be exactly, we'll just join these two together first. So put some glue along there, and then just stick this on there. And there we go. There we go. Right, so now we're going to do our monster's, whoops, our monster's face. I've got so much stuff around me just lately, it's crazy. I've got loads of shopping I've done and haven't put it away yet. Seriously, if you could see what I'm working in, you'd think, how on earth are you working in that mess? Right. What I've got here is I've got 2 circles, 2 1¼ inch circles, and I've got 2 halves of a 1 inch black circle, and they're going to be my monster's eyes, and again they could be, that makes them look like they're asleep, doesn't it? And then I've just got a strip like this of black. It's starting to look very much like a frog. I mean, you don't have to have the half circles. You can have big, you know, the big full circle if you want. And then we've just got some bad teeth. Okay, so what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to stick these on my dimensionals, just give them a little bit of something. And then those teeth are going to go on. Hopefully the dimensionals will fit. I think they will. The good thing about dimensionals is that you can get them to fit into corners and things really well. Okay, I don't need those anymore. Now what I am going to do is I'm just going to get my black ink, and I'm just going to dip these teeth I just want to make them look a bit bad. And get another one. And I've got a serious cavity issue. Okay. Okay. And then we'll just pop these backs off. And stick the teeth on, and if it means that the teeth are, you know, if you want to sort of cut away more of the mouth, if the mouth's not menacing enough, if you want to make the mouth a bit bigger, I don't know, if you, the mouth might be better if it was sort of a bit more open. I think in fact that's what I'm going to do. Just get my scissors. I've changed my mind about the design of my mouth. I'm going to cut off that. So my teeth are kind of attached to a black gum, if you like. And then I'm going to make the mouth just a gaping rectangle really, like that. Yeah, I like that. So they're going to just stick, I wanted to stick those eyes on now. Now we're going to do something different with the lid for this one. So let me just cut a little bit more off there. I'm just going to round off the edges because nobody has a square mouth today. There we go. So then I'm going to just pop the mouth on there with its black teeth. I'm going to bring this one down a little bit further because this one's going to have some hair on it. And it really doesn't matter if you get these dirty. This is why they're great for kids, because it doesn't matter if they're dirty, it doesn't matter if they're all sticky and attracting stuff that you don't normally want on your paper craft, because that's going to just make it all look scruffy and mucky and more Halloweeny. So now I'm going to make my box. So I'm going to pop some glue onto this flap here, this tiny flap along the side. This was sort of as big as I could make the box in the way I wanted to make it. This is garden green, by the way. The back black is a basic black, and the orange is pumpkin pie from Stampin' Up. So the two flaps can go down. So again, I'll pop a little bit of glue on the edge here, and the back flap can go down. So I'll cover that in glue. And the front flap, which is nice and square, I will cover in glue as well. That's not going anywhere. Nice sturdy box. Nice big box as well, this one. This is a 4x4x4. This would hold lots of treats. It would hold hold a lovely Halloween gift. You could punch holes in the sides and it could be a lantern box. All sorts you could do with it. I'm just going to use my bone folder just to finish off. I didn't press down my joins. I'm just going to do that with this. My dog's crying, I think he might want to go outside. I've just overlapped a little bit there, so I'm just going to trim that. Okay. Now the lid goes on like so, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to make the lid the hair. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut in from the corner. I'm going to cut in, and then I'm just going to cut in zigzag different lengths just to give a jagged sort of haircut effect to the lid. Okay, and I'm only going to do it on the front. I mean, I did think of doing it on all the sides, but I'm not doing it on all the sides because the reason why is obvious. I'll damage the integrity of the box. And the box will just, the lid will just fall off. So, do you want to go outside? Come on. The dog wants to go outside. I'll just put the dog outside and then I'll come back and finish that off. But you can see what I'm trying to achieve. I'll just leave it there. Come on then. Come on then. So, I'll just keep on cutting these out. And there we go with the monster box. And you can always put two, if you wanted to build up some layers of circles, you could always put some layers of circles in grey and do yourself a bolt coming out each side. In fact, why not? Got some greys from my scrap box. And I'll just punch so obviously how we're going to stick those together is we're going to glue them. So I'm just going to whip through gluing these together. Yep, that's all there. Oops. And then, like I say, I'm just going to do the, I'm not going to do it right the way through. On the last one I did it right the way through, didn't I? And it shouldn't have. It should just be, your bolt should only be in the middle. You shouldn't have it all the way through. And that's where you turn it. And then glue all over the back. And then try and get it in the same place, which is in the centre. And press it down. And there you have it, your monster. It might look nice with grey eyes actually. In fact, you know what, in the beginning I was going to make it with very vanilla eyes, and I forgot that that's what I was going to do. So then you can obviously do what you like in terms of decoration with those, in terms of just finishing them off. But look how cute they are. What a lovely little set of boxes. And yeah, we can put a little bit of red on the teeth here. Make it look like he's already done the deed. We can put some bloodshot eyes on him if we wanted to. We could put bloodshot eyes on this one if we wanted to. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna decorate them up with some, well, not a lot. I'm just going to put a sentiment on and some ribbon just to stop the tops from coming off. You might not want to put ribbon on, you might want to put twine on. I think I'd be more inclined to put twine on this one. In fact, I might not put anything on this one. This one is just fab in it. And this one, definitely this one needs green ribbon. So just 1 second. Just going to do a really loose bow so that it flops down. So it looks like, can you see what I've done? Just a really loose bow so it looks like it's flopping down in sort of a pumpkin shape. And it's just made it look even cuter, hasn't it? Just pull those up. So what I've tried to do there is just make it look like foliage hanging down, but it is a bow. So for the sentiments then, I've just kept it really, really simple. I've just made like little flags. I've just made it so you don't need any specific punches or dies or anything, and you can just make these yourself using very little materials. So I've got this Trick or Treat, which is just on a piece of scrap white, and I'm just going to put dimensionals on, and I just cut by hand a little flag around it just to back it off. So that's that one. Oh. And that one just goes at the very bottom there. Just line it up at the bottom so that it's not... So that one's just going to go there at the very bottom. I don't know if that's the right place to put it, but anyway, I don't know. Is it too late for me to take it off? I don't really like it there. I think I'm going to put it... I don't like it there either. I was going to put it at the top, but I don't. I don't really like the, I think I'll put it on the back. I've put the sentiment on the back because it just ruins the look of the front if I put it on the front. For this one, I've just done a 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 green base, and then I've done a 2 1/2 by 3 1/2 white piece, and just stamped in black. And again, I'll use my cutting machine for this, and I'm just going to pop those onto the top of there. I just don't want it to detract from what it is. I mean, you don't normally have a pumpkin with a great big label stuck in its face, do you? So that's going to go on top of there, which isn't so, it doesn't detract from the design. And then this one, again, I just made like an asymmetric flag. I like things that aren't symmetrical and that are a bit unusual shaped. And just use the sentiment really and cut around it. And that's to go on the top of the little vampire bat box. And put him on there. So that's that. There's our three. There's my 3 little boxes. That's a little Halloween trio project. They're meant to go together, you know, as a set for a craft fair or whatever, or to just gift to anybody you choose to gift to. I think they're so cute. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.